Welcome back to the California Gammy channel. Today I thought I would share with you my recipe and how easy it is to make bread. If you're anything like me, earlier this spring when there was a run on groceries and flour was hard to get a hold of, I got it as soon as it was available. And now I have a lot of flour stockpiled and I need to use it up because flour doesn't keep forever. So this is my easy way to do it. I do it with a bread maker. The bread maker that I have is this one right here, and I got it at Goodwill last year for $1. And it was like new. It's a Williams Sonoma brand, which is a Cuisinart. It works really well, and it makes making bread super easy. So the first thing that you do is you take 1 cup of room temperature to warm water, you don't want it too hot, with about 1 pack of the active bread maker's yeast, or you use 2.5 teaspoons of active dry yeast. I had the active dry yeast. Yeast has been hard to come by, so use what you have. You want to mix those two together first, and you want to let them proof. What proof means is it just means the yeast has a chance to activate. Basically it dissolves and it gets a little bubbly. And you can see what that looks like there. Just gets a little frothy. And then already in my baking pan, I've got 3 cups of flour. I've already put those in there. And the rest, you just dump everything in there. That's how easy the bread maker is. So I'm gonna put my yeast and water mixture in there. I'm gonna get a little spatula, make sure I get all the yeast out. So I have nice fluffy bread. And I just used all-purpose white flour. You can use wheat flour, you can use a blend, you can use oat flour. If you don't have flour, you can blend up oatmeal, make your own flour. And then 2 tablespoons of sugar. You can use honey, you can use any other sweeteners that you're using. 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. I used olive oil because that's what I had. And I'm all about using what you have. The olive oil will give it a little bit of an olive taste, but I don't mind that. I kind of like it. And then I put 1 teaspoon of salt in. You can use kosher salt. You can use the Redmond's real salt. That's nice salt. Then you just take this . The only trick or thing you have to watch for on a bread maker, just make sure it snaps down. Once it snaps into place, it's real easy. The machine's gonna get going, and it's gonna start out kind of slow, and then it gets a little faster. I usually watch it. You don't have to though. I enjoy watching it, but when it gets going, you might want to scrape the sides a little bit. Sometimes you don't need to though. Well, it's been a couple of hours, and I figured I'd come out and check on it. And it's rising nicely. It's already had its second round of kneading, and so this is the final round. It's still rising though. It's got another 1.5 hours on the cycle, and then it'll be done. One nice thing about making your own bread is, you know, we don't know what's going to happen this fall, so it's just nice to be prepared. It's nice to know that, you know, you can make a loaf of bread that you can fend for yourself. I like to have enough supplies on hand that I'm ready for anything, whether it's being locked down or supplies are run low, or our supply chain gets interrupted, or you just don't want to go out because you don't know what's going on coming up with the election and everything. You know, it's just nice to be prepared. And I tend to keep a stocked pantry. I like to have, you know, a few months worth of basic supplies in my pantry so that I don't have to go to the market every week. And, you know, that has helped me over the years. It's helped me prepare. It's helped me save money. It's helped me stick to a budget. And like right now, when some of my other sources of income are impacted by all the shutdowns and lockdowns and things like that, you know, I can tighten the food budget a little bit and make some things at home, and it makes me more adaptable. And I have found that the more adaptable you are in life, the easier it is to weather the storms, whatever they are, whether they're financial, whether they're health-wise. This week, my back went out, and it was hard for me to do my dog walks, you know, but knowing how to stick to a budget and knowing how to, you know, adjust comes in handy. You know, luckily I was able to do all of my dog walks, so I didn't have to stop any of them. But if my back had been any worse, I would have had to just lay on my back all week because it was in spasms all week long. But, you know, stuff like that happens. Sometimes, you know, I could trip and fall and twist my ankle or break a hip or who knows what, you know. But if you've got some supplies on hand and you know how to make some things, it just makes you, you know, more adaptable and more resilient. And that's what all of this is about right now. So I'm going to check back on the bread in about another hour. I'll start smelling it in about an hour. It'll start baking. But it should be, well, it smells amazing in here, so I think it's done. Let's check it out. Not as poofy on the top, but you know what? It comes out different every time. That's just something that happens. It still looks pretty good. I'm going to take it out pretty carefully, let it rest for a few minutes, and then I'll pop it out of the pan. You don't want to take it out of the pan right away because it's too delicate. It's got to firm up just a little bit by cooling. About 10 minutes. 10 minutes will do it. So I took it out of the bread maker and I'm letting it cool for a little bit on a cutting board. And that's what it looks like so far. It smells so good. I wish you could smell it. Nothing like the smell of fresh bread fresh out of the oven. Well, that's it. There's a loaf of bread. It's not my prettiest loaf. It's not my ugliest. It'll do.